Border apprehensions, they have soared over 500%. I mean, these are levels that we haven't seen in almost 2 decades. This is double right now what President Obama called a crisis in 2014. Here he is in 2014, half the levels we have now. Watch.
We now have an actual humanitarian crisis on the border that only underscores the need to drop the politics. All of us take offense to anyone who reaps the rewards of living in America without taking on the responsibilities of living in America. Undocumented workers broke our immigration laws, and I believe that they must be held accountable, especially those who may be dangerous. Fix our broken immigration system.
Okay, so why the switcheroo, right? Why aren't the Democrats interested in finding a solution? Joining me right now is former White House press secretary and America First Action senior advisor, Sean Spicer. Sean, good to see you. It's
Great
amazing,
to see you, Trish.
right? You know, I just played that sound, and there President Obama is saying things that we could hear President Trump say today, but the climate's very, very different. What's happened?
Yeah, well, it's quite simple. Donald Trump was elected president because it defies common sense. It's not just President Obama. But when you look at the votes of a lot of these leading Democrats, they voted for a barrier wall. They voted for additional funding. They've said a lot of the same things that President Obama said in the clips that you just played. But quite simply put, this has now become an entirely political issue. What I don't get, frankly, is that I get politics. I've been doing this for a long time. What I think is astonishing, though, is to your point, you've got in one area of the southwest border in April, you had 109,000 illegal aliens come over the border. At some point, you have children being used as pawns to get over the border for people who are claiming asylum. There is truly a crisis, not just a national security crisis, an immigration crisis, but frankly, it's a humanitarian crisis. And if you do care about these people, you see these stories about coyotes running these families and running these children, charging thousands of dollars for people to get migrated up to our southern border. It's frankly dangerous. And if we care about these individuals, we should put an end to it, because it is our system that is becoming the magnet for it. And Democrats, if this had been any other president, would be standing shoulder to shoulder with Republicans agreeing.
I don't get it. I mean, what are we just going to take responsibility for all of Latin America? I mean, they want to just open up the borders, let everybody in. It doesn't make any sense, because economically, you know, we can't handle it. And we're not going to go in and take over all these countries. I mean, I don't understand where they're going with this one and what their ultimate goal is. Is it that they want to somehow make sure that they're able to get them a path to citizenship so that they can vote and then, vote for them?
I don't know. I mean, that to me is the only thing that I can plausibly think of, right? Which is you bring a bunch of people in, you sort of indoctrinate them into your political philosophy, and then you create this so-called path to citizenship and build in a ton of new voters. Because if any other circumstance, if you care about American workers, then you should be against this. If you care about young children and them being trafficked or hurt or used in some of the ways, you should be against this. If you worry about the abuse that some of these folks in the caravans are going through on that end, then you should want an end to this. If you care about our national security, you should want an end to this. So there's really no plausible scenario that I can possibly think of politically, policy-wise, or just compassionately that would allow these type of policies to continue. But the thing that we have to understand is that it is tough when you watch these segments of what's actually going on. They are being told, hey, all you need to do is cross that southern border with a child. You claim asylum, the U.S. has to accept it, and then they'll let you go because you could wait upwards of 5 years before a court date.
Look,
I mean,
it'll never
we've
stop.
created this system.
I hear you. We created it, and we created these loopholes, and we had good intentions when we did it. This is the law of unintended consequences, and it's playing out in real time, and it's going to keep getting worse because they
Trish,
see this as a Trump thing, and they're not going to give him an inch. Quickly, yes, Sean.
But here's the thing. You have a lot of guests on your program from both sides of the aisle and try to bring up these issues. And I think that the issue is that Democrats get away with a lot, right? So they get to say, oh, no, I'm for border security or I'm against this. But they won't tell you what they're for. Right. And so this is where they're getting a free pass. And a lot of the folks in the mainstream media are ready to hand it to them, which is they want to say, no, I'm not for open borders. No, I'm not against border security. No, I'm not against a lot of these things that I just named. But they won't tell you what they're for or any way that they will actually solve this problem.
That's a pathway to not doing very well in 2020
Right.
because Americans want something to vote for, not just against. Sean, unfortunately, I'm out of time, and I really wanted to get to this whole bar thing with you, but I hope you'll come back soon.